So you're going to a burn supper. Congratulations. I guarantee you, you're going to have a fantastic time. But of course, here's the weird part. What are you going to wear? We get asked that all the time by gents as well as the gals. It's not that hard. I'm going to run you through some of the basic options you have, whether it's a formal or very informal burn supper. Let's get a couple of ground rules out of the way. First of all, bear in mind that for women, Highland dress can be a lot more creative and there are a lot fewer rules and conventions and moving parts than there are for the men. Second, you may be wondering if you have to match the tartan of your date. You do not. You can, and it can be a lot of fun to do that, but there's nothing that says you have to wear the same tartan they're wearing or even have much of a matching outfit at all. You can be creatively expressive, enjoy how you're going to look for that night, be as fancy as you want. Don't worry about the dinner being stuffy. They usually are not. So this is Mary. My friend here is wearing a classic little black dress. She has one piece of accent jewelry, which is a look and booth necklace, very traditional for Scotland, but not necessary. You can basically use whatever jewelry you want to wear. Mary is not wearing a formal evening gown, but there are burn suppers that do have that as one of the stipulations that you're in full formal evening dress. The other thing she's wearing, which is the most important thing we're talking about here, is a stole. This is kind of like a sash, but it's a bit longer, a bit wider. It's basically a big rectangle of cloth. Unfortunately, Mary doesn't have arms, so she can't wear it draped over her arms the way you traditionally would, but hopefully you get the idea. You just look elegant and flowy with it. It's very easy to pair with almost any outfit. Okay, so Mary seems to have shrunk a little bit, so maybe we'll just say this is Mary's younger sister, Siobhan. Let's say this is Siobhan. Siobhan is wearing basically a standard Highland dress, almost a uniform, you could say. Some people would describe this outfit as matronly. Others would describe it as very traditional. Essentially, this uniform, as it is, a blouse, sash, and kilted skirt, has been around for about 100 years. It's basically bog standard, and it's adequate for semi-formal all the way down to a casual occasion. If you want to rock a look, can you rock a traditional look? I don't know, but if you want to make it a traditional look like this, this is pretty easy to do. You would have to invest in a kilted skirt, of course. The sash you can do or do without, as you please. And there's more than one way to wear the sash also. This is the most standard form, but you could also wear it across one shoulder with a rosette. Okay, so casual. Casual can be very casual, like jeans and a tartan scarf and not much else, like a burn supper that's at a pub, for instance. Or you can do a kind of a nice day wear, kind of a date night kind of a vibe, something in that range, in which case something like this shawl, which is actually a type called a SERAPE or a Rowana, is a really great accessory. Essentially, it's a square-shaped kind of a shawl, but it has a U cut in it, so you can drape it like this. You can also wear it with a brooch like this. Ta-da! Lovely brooch here, closing this off. I think it's a more romantic kind of a feel to it. It's also kind of handy to have the brooch just so if you want to close up and stay warm. Let's face it, sometimes venues get chilly, or you're arriving or leaving a venue and you want to be able to wrap up. This is a really elegant and, again, very simple way to dress, and you can make it work for almost semi-formal, I would say, but certainly for a casual, nice, down to a super cash kind of a vibe. It's an incredibly versatile garment, and you're going to have a lot of fun with this one. And that's really what I want to say, is that basically let your creativity be your guide. There are very few very traditional and very standard elements to women's Highland dress. There's the kilted skirt, there's the sash, and there's the shawls and Rowanas like this. And that's about it, which means you can play around to your heart's content and really craft a look that looks good on you. Don't be afraid to play with color, don't be afraid to play with different tartans. You don't have to match your date, like I said, and look online for ideas. There are a number of different ways to drape serapes, for instance. You're going to find some great inspiration if you just take a quick look on the Googles.